Thank you so much for joining this channel. So we are in day 12. You can say day 12B because we categorize, or you can say subcategorize the 12 because 12 has multiple concepts. And from day 12, we are slowly switching from local Ollama to cloud environment, cloud Foundry or OpenAI kind of activity. So this is very important. So you can see that in the 12 we have actually just introduced the tool augmentation, manual integration. LLM can decide whether to take a help of tool or not for better making the agent better reliable. But in 12V, since we are planning to slowly migrate from Ollama local to the Cloud Foundry, because when you are adding so many functionalities like tool and other things, Ollama has some limitation. But we started with Ollama so that you understand locally how to set up, how to build a single agent, then multi-agent, then agent-to-agent communication, supervisor pattern that you all discussed it till day 12. But now there is a that limitation of the Ollama. Ollama may not function as expected when you are grow more in terms of tooling and other things. So we will jump into the cloud slowly. So it is we have taken a hybrid mode. So for the learners, they can think from the local Ollama perspective, but from the enterprise perspective, the people who are actually already in this industry, they can think from the cloud point of view. When I say cloud means, as of now we have to take in consideration of the Azure, but in future we will think about the AWS also. So the approach will be hybrid. It is a tool augmentation, as I said, in the day 12, but in day 12B, it is more like a strict function calling. Will like it's like a more about the governance that you will have to call. The LLM has to call this tooling so that it is more reliable. So strict function, as I mentioned, openly work with Azure OpenAI APIs. We will discuss in detail what is Azure OpenAI and everything. But Ollama sometimes unreliable. But we will continue the Ollama also, just so that the learner should not face any sudden change in terms of the days what we are doing right now. But from day 12 to 13, 15, whatever we will do, more about the cloud centric approach will be taken. So if the also we are introducing something like cloud, if the cloud is not working as a fallback mechanism, it will connect to the Ollama. So that is the approach. And we are introducing the environment also, so that the architecture can choose which way to go. Either it is a local setup Ollama or cloud that is given by the Microsoft. So why 12B? So 12, you know that we introduce the tooling for better making the better reliable this agent. So LLM has the option to call the tools or may not, right? But in 12B, it's like more about enforcing the structure or to the tool execution. So Day 12B like a local Ollama plus cloud, and you can see from the architecture earlier it is we are calling a code matrix function. Those who visit early Day 12, they know this matrix or outline was there. But in Day 12B, LLM has more responsibility like deciding tool, returning the structure, kernel execution. So it's about more about governance and enforcement. So the hybrid architecture app config, as I mentioned, we are giving an option of choosing the environment, cloud or the local. But since I don't have the setup right now in the Azure cloud, we have just written the code. But in the day 12C or 12D, we will try to set up the cloud so that we can show the demo using the cloud in the demo. But as of now, I will show the code, but we will take the fallback mechanism to the Ollama, assuming that the cloud environments yet not ready. So strict behavior governance, day 12 and 12, there is no difference except that we are putting an enforcement on calling the tool. So this is the switching logic, or you can say the flip-flop logic is there, which will ensure that it will call the cloud environment or fallback mechanism like Ollama. So LLM will be forced to call the tool behavior when you have the cloud and everything will show in the cloud. So you can say earlier, as of now, we have done agent is talking to the LLM manually calling the tool, and then finally the LLM is actually bringing up the result based on the tool information and system prompt and based on its own trained information. But in day 12B, we are ensuring that LLM take decisions, kernel execution, LLM continues with the tool result. We are making an enforcement. So in the 12, we have a manual invocation tool available, optional use, but 12V enforced by the system kernel automatically execute the function call. So semantic kernel, which it will take up the responsibility of calling the function. So architectural wise, slowly you know that we are moving from the local to the cloud is a little bit of migration. Reliable tool execution, we are making more reliable. And 12B was local, but 12B is a hybrid mode now. And this strict function calling may be the fail, not a timeout may come in the case of Ollama. So that's the reason we are moving to the cloud. So when I say cloud, it is Azure, OpenAI or OpenAI API. And in the coming days, we will focus on the cloud. So it will more aligned with the upcoming days. So what next? Day 12 we already, please visit the day 12 for getting an understanding of the 12. Then you come to the 12b to understand the how to enforce the governance. This is architectural milestone. In the next session we will come up with the 12c and 12d, more in a deep dive into the tool integration with the agentic AI. So finally, we are coming up with a real architecture, environment configuration, production readiness is no longer like a single agent or multi-agent with a local. It is pure cloud setup we are bringing up, and we will go forward to the composition. Here we are not making any new days. We just bifurcated 12 to 12b. So there is a one playlist is already there. You can go where you will get all the days together. And again, we are just repeating once again that we discussed in the other days that we are using .NET 8 core semantic kernel as a mediator between the application and the Ollama, which will communicate just like whoever knows LangChain, LangGraph, or LangFlow, all those in the Python setup. The same work will be done by the semantic kernel in case of C#. So now you can see still till day 12 we have used the Ollama and everything, but 12b we have introduced the cloud mode, at least from the code standpoint, not from the execution standpoint, because setup is pending from my side also. So it is a hybrid. So I am not moving directly to the cloud, so that I am doing a hybrid. Slowly we will decommission the Ollama into the upcoming days, and we will move to the cloud. So that is the reason it is a switching. You can say a switching case. So what we have learned from the day 12 tool plugin, we have learned deterministic semantic kernel plugin registration, manual augmentation. Tool was optional and environment independent because there is no concept of environment. But now we are enforcing a governance. Tool execution is must. Environment we are giving. Kernel will take care of calling the tool. LLM will contact the tool. So all these things will happen to ensure the better reliability of the agentic AI that we are building up. So LLM behavior with strict function calling may ignore tools, may hallucinate. So you know that if you directly ask something to the LLM, LLM will hallucinate. Now we are introducing, we are giving a good system prompt, it will be late has to hallucinate. Now we are giving an option of tools which will bring the data from the external sources so that LLM can take better decision. And now we are enforcing that you do this so that the reliability will be high, hallucination will be less. LLM will always give a right result. That is, there is no guarantee. Even ChatGPT also mentioned that if you find something wrong, you have to correct it by reinforcement learning and everything that we will discuss later. But the more context, more good prompt, more usage of tool is there, the LLM will perform better, and your objective of creating agentic AI will be successful. So we are moving to the enterprise system from the structural output, predictable behavior, enforced tool organization. So what is strict function calling? We discussed already in the PPT, but we are just redefining or reiterating. LLM must decide which tool to use. LLM will decide structural call. Kernel will execute. LLM will decide, but kernel will execute. Tool result injected back. So whatever tools will come, that will be injected back to the LLM, and LLM continue reasoning. So LLM will work not only on the system prompt with the input, but the tools result also. So now it is more reasoning, deterministic execution instead of more hallucination. Why hybrid? Ollama does not fully support this strict and everything, but since we started with the Ollama to avoid any costing and focus on the learning, so Ollama is there, but Azure is introduced right now. So it is a hybrid system. What is hybrid system? Again, I'm just a single code base. Local mode is Ollama manual intervention. Cloud mode is nothing but the function calling using the Azure OpenAI or Azure Cloud. So this structure we already discussed how we are setting up in the app config. Flow is very simple. Agent will receive the code. Code means the order service.cs is our code file. Prompt, our system prompt forces tool uses because the prompt itself will contain the tool references. LLM return the structure tool call. LLM will return, but through kernel. Kernel will invoke that, but LLM will take the decision, and the LLM will finally decide or giving the response based on the tool response along with our prompt and the code we given, and LLM return the final JSON with deterministic, less hallucination and more reliable execution. Same thing. So code we already discussed how it is clean, abstraction, environment friendly. So the 12b tool option, 12b we are now working on 12, and then we'll go to the next step. Architecture very straightforward. We are introducing this configuration. Kernel factory and everything is same as it is. We have only code review agent. This is the plugin. Kernel factory is there. Only the difference is environment we have introduced because now there is a introduction of the Azure cloud also along with the Ollama. So benefit, Definitely environment we have introduced, tool execution we have enforced, separation of concern, production mechanism strategy. So more about, you can say, the agentic AI is more enterprise production ready and also more reliable. Let's go to the demo. So 12B, the structure we already discussed in the PDF, that we have only one agent, code review agent. We are not taking multiple agent because multiple agent concept already discussed in the day 10, day 11. Here we are taking only one agent, but our focus is to understand the tooling. So code review agent, we have agent context that you already have. Environment mode, we are taking local and the cloud. This is we have used in the day 12 also. Function call, kernel function, these are the keywords. This is the file on which the code review will be done. This will decide which environment we are calling up. Kernel factory, you can see this is the main thing. If you see the previous day's code, mostly it is calling this Ollama with this endpoint, but now you can see we have introduced the cloud. Even though the API key is not ready, but you understand the model is changed. Earlier it is GMMA34B API key Ollama. Now it is GPT-4o mini model. Those who use ChatGPT, they know about GPT-4, GPT-5, GPT-5.2. And last, the kernel is actually taking the responsibility of calling the tool. So let's run it, how it works. So you can see that we are taking this file, we are reading that code review agent. Code review agent means where actually you will talk to the Ollama based on this prompt, and prompt will interact with the prompt will have the reference to the tooling. So we'll see that code review agent analyze the code you already have. Now the cloud is off. We have taken fallback. We are taking as a Ollama. The same code what we have in the day 12, but yes, we should show this the cloud one. We will, but this is the code is already this we are executing. This is nothing but day 12 code, but at least you can see that the switching already been given and how you are introducing this strictness. But we will once we set up that, and we will show that. So here it is taking these lines and everything, but if you go to the cloud one, see the prompt is almost same. Only difference is the extra setting is the tool call behavior, and these settings we are passing into the calling the LLM through semantic kernel with the prompt code and the setting for the cloud, which is enforcing all the rules, right? But here we are getting this value from this function. Prompt and code we are setting up, but we are not sending anything from this perspective. But we will execute in the day 12B or C or D. But you understood like what exactly how you are enforcing the tool. So remaining as it is like a day 12. This is the main factor, how the cloud introduction has been done, how this hallucination has been reduced, how the tool is calling the tool call behavior being introduced. So I can show you that the cloud one also, but I need to do a cloud setup, and once it is done, I may again visit the 12B. But as of now, we just understand okay, how 12B working in a hybrid model, and we will slowly move to the cloud in the upcoming days. So you can see that Ollama has came with the response for the order service, metrics analysis, the total line and everything. This data already given by this tools. And now that the information being used by the LLM and given a total report. So hope the 12A is clear, and we will move to the 12C with a more deep dive into this tool integration from another perspective. And 12D also. Please visit the 12 day 12, and then you come to the 12B. That will be more easier to understand because it is a continuation of the 12. Thank you so much.